How are we?
Good. Are you excited?
Yeah, excited. Yeah, it seems like we've just been on a weekly schedule of exciting games since summer, really. It's been, whether it's Leagues Cup or Open Cup or all the games in between there, that we've been pushing the players and the staff to get enough points to get into the postseason. We finally did that, and now here comes the postseason. So I've asked a lot of this group and the staff, and they've responded, and now they've put us in a really good spot in the postseason. This is where we wanted to be from the moment, our first meeting as a group. So now it's about taking advantage of this great group and a team that's have momentum and playing well. So all that's moving in the right direction. However, playoffs are different. It's just a different animal. So Salt Lake comes in town. They're seasoned in the postseason. They're well coached, and it's a very, very tough team. So we'll have to be at our best. We've been pretty good at home, so that bodes well for us. But again, as I say every time, you don't show up in the playoffs, without everybody playing to the best of their ability. You just don't get results in the playoffs if everybody doesn't show up and you play and you get the lucky bounce and you're efficient in front of goal.
How much you guys in the playoff atmosphere can feed off what should be a rowdy crowd?
Yeah, we're anticipating a big turnout here. We encourage anyone to get on out there. It's a great opportunity. It's been a while since we've been in the postseason, and we need them. We needed them all year. And the people that have showed up for us consistently have given us a real boost at home, and we're hoping because of the event itself that we get some new people in those seats that give us even more of an electric atmosphere at Shell Energy, and that hopefully they keep coming back.
What do you think of the new playoff format?
It's okay. It's what it is. Yeah, I don't. When we read it, it's a matter of like, okay, you're not going to call people and change it. This is the playoff format, and you roll with it, and you figure out how to, kind of take advantage of it. And for us, taking advantage of that was to make sure in that first round, if it goes to the third game, you have the home field. So we did our part in that way, But who knows? It could end in two. It could go to third. That's the beauty of this thing, and it'll be dramatic. And I think in some ways the lower seeds have a little bit more advantage than you would if it was a one-off in Houston, because you get that home field. But who knows? You got to go through Salt Lake first.
What do you think? Is there a certain advantage that you guys kind of already played this format in case there was a draw that you guys had to go straight to PKs from the Leagues Cup?
It's interesting because a lot of teams this year are before the playoffs more battle tested than usual because of the Leagues Cup with the knockout competition, and then also with the Open Cup competition. We've also been in a lot of scenarios where it's do or die, and so I think that helps us. Salt Lake's been in a bunch of those too. We played them in the semifinals of the Open Cup, and they had I think an okay Leagues Cup as well. So yeah, PKs, you score more than the other team, and you go through.
Knockout format, going through that in the Open Cup, does that kind of give you a bit more confidence heading into this?
I think so, in the Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
And usually a typical MLS season, you don't have a lot of those unless you're in CONCACAF, and that's only a few teams. So I think the Leagues Cup is maybe seasoned a lot of teams, including, but everybody's in that boat. And again, Salt Lake's in the same boat as we are. Okay, they didn't go one more than us in the championship in the Open Cup, but they were knockout play in serious games too in the Open Cup. So I don't know if it gives us any advantage, but it is a different element to this year's kind of schedule and the way the season played out.
Does this feel like a dangerous team going into the playoffs if you were an opposing coach?
Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We have discussions a lot about how, it's a coaching, must, where you're looking through your team through the lens of the opponent. Like, okay, how would we stop us? And making sure that we have different elements to our attack and defense that we can implement. So if a team takes away a certain element, then you take this. You can't take it all away. And so that's kind of part of this season of trying to build the right structure for us and still giving them the right freedoms within that structure to be hard to play against. And I think we're hard to play against. But again, it's soccer. It's the MLS, and it's a knockout competition. So we'll have to be our best. That's the reality. We'll have to play a very good game. We'll have to see out our chances because you don't get as many, in particular against a Salt Lake team who's very committed and sharp defensively. Again, I've mentioned Pablo, and I think he's a well coach and he's battle tested. So it's just we're thrilled to be here. But my sense is that from the guys that we want more, and we want to keep this season rolling.
Speaking of Salt Lake, how much confidence does it give you guys knowing that you went undefeated practically against 3 competitions y'all had all year?
Playoffs is different. It's a different animal. We can take from those games who they are and how we had some success against them. But you have to be careful with that stuff and thinking that because we matched up in some ways, because each game is so different. We may play Salt Lake, and they've got 2 guys down and a suspension, and they played another team that they learned a little bit, didn't work, but they learned about us. So there's so many scenarios within playing a team a few times that can even things out. So as I said, we'll expect their best shot because, frankly, that's what they've done as they're in the playoffs, and Pablo's teams in particular. So it'll be gritty, it'll be physical, and hopefully we're at our best.
Start of the season, you guys said this was your objective to make it to the playoffs, especially it hasn't been done in over 6 years. What's next? What's the next objective now that y'all are here?
Yeah, the next objective is an easy one for a coach, right? It's just to advance. And even boiling it down more, it's this weekend and winning another home game. And again, we've been good for the most part at home, and we're gonna have to be great. And that's kind of the message. And I think they're certainly up for it. I think they do, as I said, want more. Some of our earlier goals, okay, let's win the Open Cup once they're in there. Okay, we won it. Okay, well, let's make the playoffs. Okay, we did. Rip it up. Let's move on. So there's always new goals, and this is we have a really neat opportunity with a great group, a group that likes each other, and the message becomes, take advantage of it. This doesn't happen all the time. You don't just get into the playoffs and have a year like this where the team's in form going into the playoffs, a team that is willing to fight for each other in battle and on and off the field. They seem to they're enjoying this year, and that's a rare thing. I've been around enough to know that it's a rare thing, and we want to just keep that going.